Hello, everyone, and welcome to What We're Watching, episode 54, in which Joey tried to go do something before the music ended and got caught up. So the headphones are officially on, but let me welcome in my co-host, TJ. How are you, my friend?
Fun fact, 54 was my high school number, my football jersey number.
Hold on. 54. I think it was my best friend's high school football number as well. The only reason I know that is that we were in the same math class. And one of his coaches was our math teacher, and he said, "In 54 can't follow a pattern." So that's the problem with you, 54. You can't follow a pattern.
Look, I didn't need to. The only thing I need to do is be able to read a defense and snap a ball between my legs. And that I could do. And we're back.
We are having a part. This won't come out until then. On Wednesday, we're having like our regular weekly pro staff meeting, and we're having a Halloween party because two of our staff members, their birthdays on Halloween. So we're having cake and refreshments and a costume. They said, please come dressed up as a costume contest. So I'm going to wear a hoodie that has the college on it and a baseball cap from the college. And TJ, I'm going to be the all-star recruitment booster. And I'm going to be like, come on over here, son. We're going to get us a football team together because we currently don't have one. Enter into that. What do they call it? That portal. And we'll get you one of them NIL deals, son. We're going to take care of you and mama. Don't worry. Next week, we're going to pave the driveway.
Yes. We're gonna get you some of that Bohangles money.
Ooh.
Some of that Supremes money. Some of that Cajun filet biscuit money.
Dude, you just don't know. My brother-in-law is a car salesman. He's actually the manager. He's over the car salesman. A buddy of his son came in there and said, I want that. And he said, your parents here? He goes, no, I'm paying for this. He's going to some school either in Louisiana or Mississippi. TJ, if you gave me 3 shots at it, I couldn't find it on the map. And they're paying him 6 figures to come.
I believe it.
And he wanted that Jeep, and homeboy got that Jeep. Now, he might not have no money when he's finished with college, but he's driving that Jeep to Mississippi or Louisiana.
Listen, all I'm saying is if Ted Blanton's Heating and Air wants to pay me to come back to school so that I can be on the debate team and argue with people about the pros and cons about anything, I will do that. You hear me?
The pros and cons of pros and cons.
Pros and cons of pros and cons, man. I will tell you the rights and wrongs about yes and no. Ted Blanton, Heating and Air. I'll tell you the rights and wrongs about heating and air. But you want your air conditioned?
I'll tell you the condition we're going to leave your air in.
Yes. Yes. Ted Blanton.
I feel like you and I should come up with a routine where you get worked up and all that. And while I'm calming you down, I'm working myself up and we just go back and forth.
I'm for that. I am for that. That is a strong 10-minute bit right there. And I think the audience would like it. And we're back.
So it is the spooky season, TJ. We talked
about I like the spooky season.
I know you're a fan of the spooky season. I feel like this is the best time for the spooky season, though. Like if it was like late June, early July, or August in the place where we used to work, you can't have spooky there. Like I can either be spooky or I can be hot. I can't be both.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Especially today, considering how rainy it is where I am. So it's especially chilly and dreary outside. Perfect start to Halloween week because I don't want to be outside, right? If it were, excuse me, I just belched for those of you who can't see me, but you're watching on YouTube. Damn, if you can't see me, that means you're blind. Son of a bitch. All right, so
we welcome our blind.
Oh no, big time facts. For those of you who can't see, let me talk louder. So, if Halloween were in the summer, I would not participate because who wants to get dressed up in June? I already am wearing as little clothes as possible. So what? The only costume I can wear is Borat's swimsuit? No, no, that's not what y'all want to see. Me wearing thongs and whatnot. I'm pretty sure some of you would love to be a sexy librarian, but that's not what y'all want from me. This is the spooky season, and we need it to be a little bit chilly so that I have a reason to be in Hogwarts on Friday. You want me to be a fantastical Ronald Weasley.
I'm all about it. Plus, let's say, boom, you wake up and they say, TJ, you're now in a universe that has all the scary stuff, and you wake up and it's like Art and the Clown from Terrifier, or the what is it, the shape from Scream, whatever they call it, the hooded figure, right? You know what I'm talking
From
about.
Scream, yeah, Ghostface.
Yeah. Ghostface, but it's August and you just sweating, dude, just kill me right now. Like, and he's like, you
I'm
better
not,
run.
bro.
No, I'm gonna stand right here. Just stab me. You better. Well, this is no fun. You just sitting there. I know. I ain't gonna run. Stab me. It's hot.
Look, I get the sensors ready. I'm sitting down on the couch, sweating like a mug. Ghostface knocks on the door. Do 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 do. Y'all know how I do. Anybody who's been a fan of what we're watching or the Joey Harris show, somebody knocks at my door. Do 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 do. Who's knocking at my door? That's how I'm gonna answer the door. Ghostface said, "You want to play a game? Get the bleep away from my door." That's how I'm answering the door in the summertime. It's not even fun. There is no movie if TJ's in the movie. Let's get to The Conjuring, because that right there, that is a spooky movie for the spooky season.
It was, and I'm gonna just say this right up front. I had a lot of fun watching this film.
It
Like
brings you back to it.
there's some scary things, but like I know, like every 3 minutes they're not gonna come around the corner and somebody's gonna jump out at you or do that. It's very psychological and all of that. But The Conjuring is a 2013 American supernatural horror film directed by James Wan and written by Chad Hayes and Carrie W. Hayes. It is the inaugural film in the Conjuring universe franchise. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga stars as Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators and authors associated with prominent cases of haunting. The purportedly real-life reports inspired the Amityville Horror Story and the associated film franchise. The Warrens come to the assistance of the Perrin family, who experienced increasingly disturbing events in their newly occupied farmhouse in Rhode Island in 1971. Now, I was familiar with these films as they came out, like I saw the ads and all of that, but I had never seen any of them. I was familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren because I'd had a job for a year working security overnights, and I would listen to Coast AM, and they would come up on there at some point, and just different things. And I'm aware, like, there's a lot of controversy surrounding him. Like, most of the people, like, they seem like really nice people, but we really don't get the scary stuff that they purport in their museum and stuff like that. It could just all be like, I think, like, hey, I think it's things like, hey, that phenomenon that happened, that's a little freaky, and it's like a 2. I feel like they crank it up to an 8. Like, let me tell you what really happened. Like, you know, a little bit on the level, but just with the events.
Sensationalism.
Sensationalism. Development of the film began in January 2012, and reports confirmed Wan is the director of a film entitled The Warren Files, later retitled The Conjuring. Production began in Wilmington, North Carolina in February of 2012, and scenes were shot in chronological order. The Conjuring was released in the United States and Canada on July 19, 2013 by Warner Brothers Pictures and New Line Cinema. It received positive reviews from critics and grossed over $319 million worldwide against its $20 million budget. A sequel, The Conjuring 2, was released in 2016.
Yes.
All right. So it starts out in 1968. Renowned demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren investigate the Annabelle case. in which friends Debbie and Camilla have a possessed doll. Now, let me say this. It starts out with
Stupid.
them.
I mean, I'm sorry.
They're on the couch, right? Who's the guy? He doesn't say anything the entire time.
Scared
I
as
still
hell.
don't know. I still don't know. There have been
Scared.
3 Annabelle films. We'll talk about them briefly later on when I talk about the universe. Maybe all of his stories in that, but I still just seeing the Conjuring. I'm like, that dude had literally nothing. They're like, hey, Johnny, this table is wobbly. You and this couch, these girls can't sit on this couch. You want to sit at the end? What do I got to do? Just look scared and not say anything. I can do that.
I can do that. He's I'm thinking he's emotional support for the one in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen some stuff. He's looking like he's seen some stuff.
I
He's
feel
not the confident boyfriend that's trying to get her to just forget about it. Nah, this man done seen some things.
I think you're on to something. And in his mind, this is what he's saying. Listen, I ain't gonna say nothing. Because if I start talking, I'm not gonna stop. He's gonna say, listen, she been doing wrong before she met the doll. Of course, the doll's gonna come up. Is it possessed? Is it not possessed? Who knows? Bad decisions follow this girl wherever she goes. Now I love her, and that's on me.
I love her, and that's on me because who says? She says she wanted to connect, and we said, sure. What's the worst that could happen? A lot, Deborah. The hell you think? Somebody
Nobody
says,
says that. Nobody says that. Dude, I was reading today. I think he was from France. I want to say he was from France. Maybe he wasn't from France. There was this man who, in the 60s or the 70s, was flying from another country to San Francisco.
right.
The plane stopped in Bangor, Maine, where I used to live, and he thought he was in San Francisco. So he got off the plane. Now they're not gonna like it's like, hey, some people are getting up. He's like, I'm in, and so for a week he tries to go around. He's upset because he can't find anything. Like, where's the Golden Gate Bridge? That's not in Bangor, Maine, and
It's
stuff
not
like that.
Maine, baby.
And the people are like, this dude is fun. And so they finally figured out, hey, he's in the wrong place. This dude's the funniest dude. They gave him the key to the city. He got to meet the governor and all of that. Dude, I'll send you the story later on. I felt like that's what this guy was doing. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I'd rather end up in the wrong city not knowing anybody or the language than they go, she said she wanted to connect with this doll. What's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? She said,
What's the best that can happen?
I'm having a wonderful time in this doll that can't do anything. Hey, Deborah, you want to take me out to the city? You're going to have to hold me up and show me around because I can't do anything because I'm in a doll. That's the absolute best that can happen right there.
Joy, and I don't mind saying this for the entire world to hear. Joy, I love you. I love you like a brother. Anything ever happens to me, as a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go that far. After we get off this here call right here, I told you what I was gonna do. I said I was taking a nap.
Yes.
And you said you might do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to take a nap and you hear my voice say, hey Joe, don't you want to let me hang out in that old grandfather clock you got in the corner over there? In my voice, my mannerisms, so you know it's me. You better not say yes. As much as you love me, as much as you know that I wouldn't do anything to harm you, you better not say yes. Because no good can come from letting a spirit attach itself to anything. What are we talking about? And y'all supposed to be nurses. That's why I don't like going to the hospital. Jesus.
I've got a second note here. What's with the crayon and the notes? Okay. All of that freaky. But let's break it down in the most cellular level, TJ. It says,
Okay.
what? Miss me? You ain't been gone but 3 minutes. I ain't had time to miss you. let's say this is the best thing ever, but we're like, listen, this doll is possessed and it's freaking me out. Annabelle, I release you to your destiny. Hope things work out for you. Miss me? You just left. You ain't had time. I'm still wearing the same underwear, Annabelle.
See, this is how y'all know y'all done some mess because see y'all threw that hoe away. And I don't mean no disrespect to Annabelle because I don't know her personally, but I called her a hoe by mistake because she out here killing people. So I'm sorry. If you out here killing people, you a hoe. So y'all threw that hoe away. And she said miss me because she was trying to manipulate y'all emotionally. Miss me? And y'all mess with her mind. And now she gonna terrorize y'all.
And you know it's working because she done already said, hey, can I connect with you through this doll? What's the worst that can happen? Oh,
What's the worst?
I got a live one here. Where's that red crayon? Why is it red? Why she writing on like the old fashioned like paper? It wasn't like a piece of paper. It was like almost like a grocery bag paper, and
Parchment.
like half torn off. And she's like, "It's." They open the door now. The doll's not there,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh, what's this piece of paper on the floor?" Somebody could have dropped that. And it's like, "Miss me," and like, "Oh, I'm freaked out." Turned around, the doll's back inside the apartment. All right. What should we do? Move at that point. Now, I'm usually not the one because I'm going to argue against this very thing later on in the same movie, talking about it. But at that point, like, you're not like the Perrin family. They're like, what's going on? We can't handle this. A lot of freaky stuff happening. Y'all done invited the doll, I mean, the spirit
Right.
into the doll. You done got what's the worst that could happen? You're like, hey, this is freaking us out. We're getting rid of it. The doll's back. Miss me. And then miss me is written on everything. We're not getting our security deposit back. You know
No.
this at that point, right?
No,
It's
no,
just,
you're
it's not
definitely not
happening.
getting a security. But at least you're alive.
Right. I bet that's really what the guy was upset for. He fronted them the security deposit. You know us, we're clean people. We're gonna clean this place spick and span. You're gonna get every penny back. And then they call him over. Hey, Fred, come over. A lot of things happening. And you know him, he's macho. I'm a real man. I can carry. Miss me. What y'all doing scribbling on the walls? Oh, it ain't that. Sit down. We'll tell you the entire story. He's just fixated on that wall. I ain't getting that security deposit back. That's really what was happening.
I think that's exactly what it was. She put him down as a cosign. That's it.
They allowed a spirit who claimed to be a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins. Now, let me tell you something. A spirit comes in. I'm a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins. What you doing with us? We're two nurses. You shouldn't be go find Casper. Go find other little kids and stuff. Hang out with them.
Anybody else.
To possess the doll and the hauntings become increasingly disturbing. You don't say. Who could have seen this coming? The Warrens explained that the doll was never possessed. It was only a conduit for a demonic spirit whose goal was to possess one of the friends. And they're like shocked. They're like, was she really going to take possession of one of us? What did you think was going to happen?
Again,
And the guy was like, I thought I was going to get my security deposit.
I was getting my deposit back.
And so they're telling this story to a room full of students. They got the projector there and all that. Everybody, what happened to the doll? We brought it with us. Here you go. Cleared out there. No, they're like, it's in a safe place. It's in the museum that's in the corner of our house. And no matter how many times we tell her, our daughter just goes in there. I just want to stare at the doll for a while.
Let's get into that, man, because I'm just sitting here, bro, like wanting to throw salt. Wanting to throw salt. Like if you feel the need to, and I get the logic behind it. You don't want to let the genie out the bottle. Totally understand that. And I have ample respect for that story that you're drinking. Cut the check. But there you go. But so I get the logic of not wanting to let the genie out the bottle. Respect all day. But you sat there and watched your daughter IF that daggone dog. I mean, she looked. And then you're like, get out. And she's still looking. And you came and called the nanny, and she's still looking. Come on, buddy. Come on. Like,
I'm like,
she's,
y'all ain't
come
got
on.
a safe. Y'all ain't got like
Right?
a glass case or something. There needs to be some sort of protect, like a cellophane wrapper just over the door, something to where they're not like, hey.
Anything. Bro, this entire room is created as a nuisance to entice this child to want to come in here and touch these shenanigans. Half the stuff in here is toys, but yet I'm supposed to not want to come in here and play with everything.
And I
Half of
feel
it's
like
toys, and it's possessed by children.
I feel like that's what they told her. Like, look, there's a lot of cool stuff in that room. You won't believe this. Half of it's toys. All right. Most of it's toys you just enjoy right there. Now, we're not going to buy you like like if she's like, I really want an Annabelle doll, I could probably find you one down at the store. We're not going to buy you any of that stuff. Just don't go in that room. A lot of bad stuff will happen. What room? The room at the end of the hall. The door will be open most of the day while our backs are turned. If you go in there at 3, there's a nice westerly breeze that blows through your hair.
Right.
If you go at midnight, you'll hear a lot of interesting sounds. We'll be dead asleep, but set an alarm.
Right. And I know we're sending your grandmother there to watch you. She'll be sleeping right next to you, but it won't matter. You'll hear a whole bunch of commotion in the room as if there's a whole bunch of people in there, but you'll be in there by yourself.
Later on, you and Nana will scream through the door at each other. Neither one of you obviously trying to get through the door very hard. Nana,
Because
why can't
it's
I
a
open the
pool
door? Where
door.
you at? Where you at?
It's
They're
a
doing
pool
this.
door,
They're
but
like,
you're going to be pushing.
they're pushing it. Both sides pushing. Now, one side should be able to push the door open, but not if somebody's pushing from the other side. 3 years later,
Shenanigans, Joey.
in 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perrin moved into a farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. Their dog, Sadie, refuses to enter the house. Now, at this point, I said this point to Nan because I was telling her that we were going to do this. I'm like, at this point, everybody in the audience that looks at this, they're like, see, the dog knew. They need to listen to the dog. I have a counterpoint, all right? The man and the woman, they done sunk a lot of money into this house, all right? Money's tight anyway. They've got 5 daughters and a dog. You know, he's been driving all day. He's been hearing, are we there yet? I'm hungry. We just passed the McDonald's. Can we get a burger? The moving trucks behind them, you know, those guys are trying to enter like golden overtime. They
Yep.
want their money, right? He finally pulls up at the place. Everybody jumps out. I'm going to get my own room. I'm going to pick mine out now. The older daughter's like, do I even get a room, or have I got to sleep out here on the porch? I don't know why she sounded like Morgan Freeman, but just go with it for a moment. But he's like, we're finally here, right? We are finally here. And the dog is like, I ain't going in. At that point, I'm going to drag you into this house because dogs will bring up shenanigans just like that.
Dogs will bring up shenanigans. And I thought about that as well. As a dog owner, I'm just sitting there like, okay, there's 18 different reasons as to why this dog might not want to come into this house. This dog may smell the odor of a much more alpha dog that might not even live here anymore. Because clearly, this is our house now.
She's
You
looking at it.
know,
You know, Otis peed all over this stuff. I can't
Otis
go in.
peed all over this lot, but Otis been gone. And now this your house, Sadie. You need to come in here. You need to come in here. But you can't because you're scared. So now I'm going to bring you in here.
Right.
But again, and we see what happened to Sadie.
Oh, yeah.
Being soft on the outskirts still got you.
The family discovers a boarded up cellar in the house, and paranormal events occur within the first few nights. Now, I had never heard of this game before. Maybe I just didn't play the right games, but the like it's like tag and the clap tag and all that. I felt
I
like
go see.
yeah, but you're like you call out, you're allowed to clap 3 times. Like you can ask for the clap 3 times
Because you're blindfolded. Because you know, bro, the hide and go seek that we play coming up, I didn't have to be blindfolded.
right.
That's why we weren't clapping. But I can
It's
understand
almost
why
like,
you.
it's almost like Marco Polo out of the pool, but instead of Marco and Polo, you have to do the clap when they ask for it.
Right,
But
but you
apparently
only
they
get
can only
3.
ask for it 3 times. But I felt
Otherwise,
like every
I'd be asking for claps all the time.
all the time. Keep it up. Keep it up. I better hear them hands.
Give me a round of applause.
Right. I felt like every time that they were doing, I'm trying to keep. I'm like, all right, there's 5 of them. They didn't let one of them play, so it should be 4 of them, which means 3 of them. But I felt like they're like, all right, clap, and then off in the corner there was a. I'm like, are the ghosts playing that too? They're like, I don't fully understand this game. Can she see us? Should I clap? Let me tell you what,
Look,
Annabelle would not clap. Annabelle be like, I'm writing you messages. Oh, you can't see him because you're blindfolded? I'll write them on the wall where you can see it when before I leave. Every clock in the house stops at 3:07 a.m. Carolyn awakens with new bruises each morning, and Sadie is found dead in the yard. And birds are just dive bombing onto that house.
what you're listing, and I don't know if they can see the header that I put down as my name for this episode, but what you're listing is several flags. I put myself down as red flag number 73 because whenever TJ shows up, shit just hit the fan. Okay?
Yeah.
Bruises just popping up. Ladies and gentlemen, bruises just popping up don't just happen. Okay? She thought she had an iron deficiency. But
Yep,
if
that's
bruises just
exactly what she
popping
thought.
up and somebody's not putting their hands on you, you got a demon. Okay?
Now,
Birds
this
flying into your house, that's a red flag. If you got a cellar in your house that you didn't know about, that's a red flag. Okay? Especially if you got an apartment.
and
Jonathan,
you're on the 5th floor. Why
and
I
you on
gotta
the 5th floor. What are we talking about?
Mrs.
Samuel?
Jenkins supposed to be below me. Where's this cellar from? Mrs. Jenkins, you down there? We'll talk about it later on because I have a point about that cellar, right?
All right.
But they're playing the game, and the girl's like, she's in the corner and all that. It felt like to me, I'm like, maybe I need to be like right up on the screen and do it. It felt like to me, she just like casually like breathed up against it and fell through. Oh, she's gone. We don't know what happened. What happened? He's like all the air and stuff. Like, give me a match or a lighter or something like that. Y'all ain't got no flashlights. They had
No,
flashlights in 1971. Don't lie to
not in
me.
1971. All they had was those big industrial size, and I even got some just for the show. The big industrial size box of matches, man. That's what we carrying these days, baby.
It was either that or send the dog, but either the dog was dead or was not feeling good. The dog's like, listen, I might be in the pink, but I ain't going anywhere near that hole.
Nope. It stinks down there.
Carolyn
Red
contacts
flag.
Carolyn contacts the Warrens, who conduct an initial investigation. Now, every other thing, they're like, is this where you heard the thing? See, this is what happened here. You got some airflow current and the water and all that. That's what. Oh, so there's nothing wrong with our house? Nothing other than it's ugly. During which Lorraine, the clairvoyant, sees that a dark entity has latched onto the family so that even leaving the house will not free them. And he's trying to make bank. How much? Well, that's not my regular rate, but he's upside down on this house. He's got to make
Right.
some money.
You got to do something.
To gather evidence, they place cameras and bales around the house with the help of their assistant, Drew Thomas, and police officer Brad Hamilton. Now, we're going to talk about Brad later on. Okay, Brad's just going to mess things all up later
He's
on.
a non-believer.
Research reveals that the house once belonged to an accused witch, and Satan is named Bathsheba Sherman, a relative of Marytown Eastie, who sacrificed her week-old baby to the devil and killed herself in 1863 at 3:07 in the morning after cursing all who take her land. Everybody, just
Everybody.
all right. So there have been reports of numerous murders and suicides through the years in the houses that were built on the land. Now, what I enjoy about this movie, TJ, is that film. I'm sorry about this film.
Hmm?
Is that it still leaves you with an area of plausible deniability because they're like the Warrens that, like when the mother's playing the clap game with the youngest daughter, she's blindfolded. She don't see half the things that we're seeing. She's like, all right, I heard this and I heard the claps coming from there, but I didn't see anything.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what, if I'm playing that with my young daughter, I don't have a daughter, but I feel like I'd play with a child if I had one.
Right.
You know, Daddy, play the clapping game with me. All right, so go hide and I'll spin myself around. I'm going to look. All right, clap. I know where you're at. Clap again. And you see the arms come out, clap, clap.
Yep.
And I'm trying to see. And I'm looking, where did you go? And she comes up behind me. She's been in another room. You couldn't find me.
Red flag.
We're going to spend the rest of the day outside.
Get out. Because there's no way, even with that blindfold on, one of my major senses is gone. Here's one thing that I learned. I learned from Peabody and Sherman. You take away one of my senses, the other ones are heightened, Joey.
Right.
So my hearing and my sense taste, it's heightened. So whenever that hand came out like that, my spidey sense picked up, Joey.
I know.
I felt it. So I knew to go over towards the shipper-robe. For those of you who don't know, that's what it's called. It's a shipper-robe. So I went over to the shipper-robe and I went into it where the clothes were, the wardrobe. I went over to it because that's where the Lion and the Witch was. And I went inside because I thought there was somebody in there. Then my daughter comes from another room, says, I was in another room the whole time. I fooled you. Hell no, you didn't, little Susie Q. We getting out of here. First, the dog died. I got bruises on my chest like your father's been beating on me. And now you was in another room the whole time, Susie Q. We getting out of here. We getting out of here. Y'all don't understand something. And I know y'all are sitting here watching me right now, and I'm taking y'all down the road like this woman is about to go and take y'all down a sermon. And this is not the character that y'all are watching right now. I get it. I get it. Red flags. Pay attention to red flags. If it's TJ, it's not a movie, baby.
There's another one coming up here real soon. I think this is
Real
the place.
soon.
Anyway, this is where I'm going to talk about it. Bathsheba completely possesses Carolyn. In the cellar, Lorraine sees the spirit of a woman whom Bathsheba has possessed long ago and forced to kill her child, realizing she will force Carolyn to do the same. All right, now Lorraine, okay? I don't know. Like I said, I might not have been fully paying attention, all right? But you look at the house, it looks like what, a regular 2-story house? Let's say they had an attic, and let's say they have a cellar. Lorraine was on the International Space Station when she fell through that thing because she fell for about 2.5 straight minutes. She's just like, and then I felt like, did that thing just like suck her back up? Because she's still like, are there underground caverns?
Yeah, bro.
No lie, that woman literally fell for 30 seconds. I'm like, I don't know physics, but she should have hit the ground by now.
Every nook and cranny, crawl space, slave quarter that they had going down through that doggone house, she fell through it. If April had a nook and if Rory had a crawl space, she fell through it. Every one of them.
I felt like along the way, she found where Anne Frank hid. She found the Underground Railroad. She just passed all of them. I'm like, when is
Bro,
she gonna hit the bottom?
she know where Jimmy Hoffa's body is at. I'm telling you everything, man. She has got the daggum location of blood from the daggum crucifixion. She knows where everything is at, man. She went through.
The Warrens conclude they have sufficient evidence to receive authorization from the Catholic Church to perform an exorcism. What
Now,
more would they need?
because
We
they
have a
just saw this
we
little
have a
girl
signed
get
letter from
dragged across the room.
right. Oh man, they were playing what is that thing where you do the curling? They were playing
Yes.
curling with that girl's hair, and all of a sudden, I got it. Clip. You can't try to just stop. You got to cut my hair. That's the only way. It's well known. I didn't know it.
It's a new style now.
They're like, we got sufficient evidence. What more would you? Only other thing you would need would be like a letter from Satan personally going, yeah, I'm involved. I'm just terrorizing this entire family.
Even then,
But,
they'd be like, "Can we trust this? I think somebody may have forged this signature."
but Father Gordon explains that approval would have to come directly from the Vatican because the Perrin family are not members of the church. They never will be with that attitude, Father.
And the daughters have not been baptized.
He's like, look, I'd like to help you, but my hands are tied. I got to follow a script here. The Warrens' daughter Judy is attacked by Bathsheba as a warning to the Warrens. Hey, you want to start? And they're like, hey, go in our thing, mix it up with Annabelle for a while. They're like, Annabelle's here? Oh, I'm so sorry. This is embarrassing.
That's what y'all want? It's about to be a party. So Lorraine's gonna do some laundry. I got your laundry. Do. Let the wind blow. Somebody standing right behind you the whole time.
That sheet, boom. And it's
Right
just an
there
outline of a person.
of a
And then
person, and
and then it
then it
hits
goes to the window, and then boom, it's a person in the window.
and then the sheet flies away. Goodbye, sheet.
Goodbye, sheet. We
We
didn't
got
need
more
that sheet
sheets.
anyway.
We got more sheets
Man, look,
anyway.
you can't go wrong with a couple of. You can't go wrong. A good sheet is hard to find.
Oh,
1,000,
you're right about
2,000
that.
thread count. Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with a good sheet.
All right. The Perrin family takes refuge at a motel, but Carolyn, possessed, takes Christine and April back to the house to kill them. How did she tell them? Hey, we need to get some ice. And I'm gonna take let's say Christine and April. They're like, it's just ice, Mom. I don't even really need ice for my drink. I like it a little warm.
Nah, man, she had. I'm thinking because her voice is really soft. I'm gonna get some ice cream, and I want the two youngest to come with me. Let's go. That's how you play it. Because I mean,
The older one's like, bring me back some Rocket Road.
that's it.
And then they kind of like, before everything is going, they kind of talking to each other. Mom never goes out for ice cream. She never asks
And
us for ice cream.
she didn't take the youngest one. She took the two above the youngest, right? Because the youngest one was probably sitting there like, they ain't going to get ice cream. She going to kill them.
She going back to that house.
She going back to the house. She knew everything. Like she was in touch because Rory was telling her everything that was going on.
Oh yeah.
So she was in touch with everything that was going on. So yeah, my apologies. The youngest child was in the know, as y'all would say. She was woke.
Roger is like, look, I can't get out from under this house.
I can't do this.
I don't know what's happening here. My children are gone. Ed, what do I do? Well, Roger, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She's headed back to the house. She's gonna kill him. We'll meet you there. Shit, I gotta go back to the house.
I just
Don't
got
worry,
back from
Roger.
doing a
We're
run to
bringing
Florida.
Drew. We're bringing Drew and Brad. Roger's like, I'll get there first. I'll open up the door. Wait, I can't get the door open. What's happening? Look at the door, TJ. Now, I'm not saying I'm the strongest person. I would at least try to force it open. Brad's like, nope, bam. You just ruining. And look, folks, if you're looking, you're ruining the resale value. He's upside down. He's not going to make any money, but he's like, listen, we ain't going to stay here anymore. But I'm trying to sell the place, Brad. We don't have to tell everybody, Brad. It's a one-on-one deal. I ain't got no realtor here.
Did not hesitate. Shoot first, ask questions later.
My wife and I really like this house. A lot of space. We're planning on having a family one day. That's good. That's good. I'll tell you what, never really been no demonic possession here. Interesting that you should say that. My wife and I really wanted to know, why is the front door blown half off? You know, that's a funny story. We laugh about it to this day. Why is there holes all through there? Is that a cellar? Yeah. Gets real cold in the winter. I just block that up if I was y'all.
So what we know from doing a little bit of research about Brett, his family name is Riggs.
Okay. He
Shoot
shoots first.
first,
He
ask
never asks
questions
questions. No, see, he doesn't ask questions. That's why he had to change his name. They're like, listen, you got the shooting first, but you got to ask some questions.
Gotta ask some questions, man.
He's like, but I already shot. That takes care of all the questions. Yeah, but you got to ask the question.
That's a little reward for those of you who watched any of Christmas in July.
Did you shoot him first, Brad? That's a question, and I refuse to answer.
I don't owe you answers to questions, Jonathan.
So, running out of time, Ed, Lorraine, and Brad tie Carolyn to a chair. And Ed attempts the exorcism himself. And freaky things start to go down. And Ed's like, y'all, I'm gonna need some help. I need somebody to hold it. I'm gonna hold your place in that book you were reading back at home. That's what I'm gonna hold.
You don't believe it until the sheet starts to rip and you see a face that is not your wife.
Drew's
That's when
in the
you
kitchen,
know.
and he's like, is that April? What's that? April? And he's like, is she underneath? No, she's not up under there. Is she underneath the table? Dude, start with the table first. Oh, she's underneath the floor. Kick. My man Roger's like, could you not do another hole in this house?
That's the thing. I was sitting there watching that because I hadn't seen it since I saw it. And I'm sitting there like, why is he banging a hole in the floor? How in the hell did this child get under the floor? And again, crawl spaces. But he didn't have to go through the floor to get to her. And then when he does it, does he have to yell? She's in the floor.
I found April. If y'all want to swing by the kitchen, I've got a handy dandy map that tells you exactly where she's at. Carolyn's like, a map, you say? Yeah, you got to go through this cavern that Lorraine found while she was falling. Y'all remember when Lorraine fell? April's down there. There's a lot of holes, but don't worry, Carolyn can fit through them. A mouse couldn't get through those holes, but Carolyn's like, oh no, I got plenty of room on both sides.
I know we were worried about the kids, but I took the one kid outside and left her in the car. She should be dead now because those crows had their way with her. But that's okay because I found April. She's in the lot. I mean, come on, man.
Back at the hotel, the older daughter's like, I bet wherever we end up next, I'm still not getting my own room. Dog and the little girl's dead. But we got to downsize.
Every time I turn around, somebody's sneaking into my room trying to get into my closets.
Talking about, you want to play the clapping game? I want to go to sleep.
I want to go to sleep. I got to study for the SAT.
She's like, I got it. It ain't got to be Harvard. I'll go to Tech. I'll go anywhere. I just need to get away from these people.
Got to get away from these people. I'll go to state. Because, you know, in most movie worlds, they don't have university names. You either going to Tech or you're going to state. I'll go to state. I'll go to state.
Leroy's Driving School. Do they have an on-campus component? So Carolyn escapes, attempts to kill April. Lorraine is able to call to her by reminding her of a family memory. Y'all remember that day at the beach when it was bright and sunny and there won't none of this happening? Think about that.
Because that's all it took. Because that's all it took. If all I had to do was take you back to the memory of the beach.
Allowing Ed to complete the exorcism and condemn Bathsheba back to hell. But don't worry, the Catholic Church has approved the exorcism. About that, we already did it. Excuse me? Ed did it. Ed's not a priest.
It's done, though. Well, we're going to send somebody there anyway, just to make sure you did it right.
That priest is like, I ain't calling the Vatican back. So you know what?
They coming.
They coming.
They coming.
There's some evil around that corner. Have you checked the hole that goes through the entire house?
Whenever they get there, they're going to be like, it ain't here now, but there was some evil in here, man. It smells evil.
And that's the day that Febreze was created. Returning home, Ed adds the haunted music box from the parent home to their room of cursed artifacts that they have collected from past cases. Then the music box starts playing and swirling and all of that. And you see Annabelle in the corner, and you know it's not over, TJ.
It's not. Can't be.
There have been 9 films in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
How many have you seen?
7.
Okay.
I've not seen one of the nuns, and I've not seen the newest Conjuring.
Okay. That's what I figured. I figured you hadn't seen Last Rites yet. So.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the Last Rites, and then I didn't see the Nun 2. But I did see the first Nun, and I saw the Conjurings 1, 2, and 3. And I saw Annabelle's 1, 2, and Creation.
I was about to say, you've seen all the Annabelles.
Yeah.
The Conjuring grossed $137.4 million in North America and $182.1 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $319.5 million against a budget of $20 million.
That's awesome.
On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 86% of 228 critics' reviews were positive, with an average rating of 7.2 out of 10. The web consensus reads, well-crafted and gleefully creepy, The Conjuring ratchets up dread throughout a series of effective old-school scares. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a 68 out of 100 based on 35 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Cinema Score reported that an audience gave The Conjuring an A- grade on a scale of A to F, and it was the first horror film to receive an A grade from that company.
Nice.
Now, this movie was not without its disputes. Norma Sutcliffe and Gerald Helfrich, the previous owner of the house on which the film was based, sued James Wan, Warner Brothers, and other producers in 2015 on the grounds that their property was being vandalized constantly as a consequence of the film. Entertainment Weekly obtained documents in which the owners affirmed various invasions and ratified that they found numerous objects afflicted with satanic cults. The lawsuit also revealed that the previous owners bought the house in 1987 and lived in peace until 2012, when they found out that they were making this movie. Both owners were seeking unspecified damages. When questioned, a spokesperson for Warner Brothers declined to comment on the issue. The case was dismissed in December of 2017. Gerald Brittle, the author of the 1980 book The Demonologist about Ed and Lorraine Warren, filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers, New Line Productions, and director James Wan regarding the film. Brittle claimed the film, alongside the subsequent sequel and spin-offs, infringed upon an exclusive contract he had with the Warrens to make any works based on the subject of his book. The film rights were briefly with the original publisher Prentice Hall before reverting to Brittle. Warner Brothers refused to comment on the case. Warner Brothers settled the case with Brittle in December of 2017. So he got some compensation.
Got to. Warner Brothers in the business of not commenting on anything.
Oh no.
I'm cool.
Well, they went 1-1 in December of 2017. They got one case dismissed, and they're like, we'll settle with the other guy since it's the other case. Yeah. The success of The Conjuring has spawned several related films and sequel, along with the original film. There's The Conjuring 2, The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It, and The Conjuring Last Rites. 3 films about the Annabelle doll have been made: 2014's Annabelle, its prequel Annabelle Creation from 2017, and a sequel to both films, Annabelle Comes Home from 2019. 2 films featuring Valak, the Demon Nun, have been made. The Nun, released in 2018, and its sequel, The Nun 2, released in 2023.
That's it.
But I really enjoyed this film. I did not think that I would, but I'm like, I'll give it a shot. But, I had fun.
So it put myself back in the mindset of where I was when it released. The reason that I liked it like I did is because at the time everything was trying to rock like Saw. So it's like, it seemed to me you were either going the route of Saw, which was overly gory, or you were trying to be humorous like Scary Movie, which is fine, but that would just seem to be the overwhelming majority of film. So to get The Conjuring at the time, which was a refreshing horror movie, it was like an old school scary tale. I was like, you know what? This is all right. This is all right. I like this refreshing horror movie. So, I appreciated it. I appreciated you, for giving me this assignment, man, because it gave me an excuse to bring it up and watch it a little bit earlier than I probably would have this spooky season. So, to The Conjuring, I give you 4 ghouls.
4 ghouls. I think that's good. I think that's about right. And I might check out a couple of the other films in it. I'm interested to see what they do with Annabelle and at least the second Conjuring film. And then I'll go film for film beyond that.
I would be curious to see, because you know me, I never like to put my opinion on anybody's movie going experience, but I would like to discuss movies with you after to see how you feel about it. Because I've only watched Annabelle once. I would need to watch it again to see if my idea of it stays the same.
Now, you know what the original Annabelle doll is, don't you?
What is that?
It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
The original, yes.
Yes. And folks, this is for TJ and for you all. I'm not going to ruin it for you. If you get a moment, Google the original Annabelle doll and what happened just this past year with it. You would be surprised. That's all I'm going to say. You would be surprised.
Annabelle doll, what happened this year? Googling it. All right.
Yep. And went on a little tour, and then something happened on the tour. That's all I'm going to say. Leave you a little teaser. But TJ, do you know what is next for you and I? With what we're watching, episode 55?
Is it Modern Warfare? Have we done that yet?
Modern Warfare.
Have we done Modern Warfare yet? Community?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going
We
back.
got some.
We're going
We're
back to the
juggling a lot of.
MCU. We're going back to
Okay.
the MCU with our next one. Okay.
All right.
And it's the Winter Soldier
Ooh.
with the recently departed Robert Redford, amongst other people. All right.
All right.
Very, I call it very appropriate for the current climate in the country. That's all I'm going to say. But TJ, as I was preparing for this, and since it is the spooky season, we're in Halloween, and I was looking up some things that we had done last year. I said, got to bring it back this year, TJ. It's the perfect like bow to put on anything Halloween, and that is what was said by Mr. Orson Welles at the end of his War of the Worlds broadcast, and I feel like it's the perfect thing to end this. So before I do that, TJ, go ahead and plug any and everything you have, my friend.
If you've got Amazon Prime or Tubi, Tubi, you can search Your It for the spooky season, and that's a nice little horror movie that you can watch and see this guy. So You're It on Amazon Prime or Tubi. Check me out.
All right. I'm going to plug the Patreon, folks. Patreon.com/baby kangaroo media. I don't have it available here. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. There it is.
Ooh.
Patreon.com/baby kangaroo media. Just $5 a month. This is what has happened here in just the month of October. All right, we had the Joey Harris Super Show where Nan, Tyler, and I discussed the instant experts tackled the theft at the Louvre and what they would do to bring customers back. If Halloween were for adults, what would you want in your trick or treat bag as an adult trick or treating for Halloween? TJ, Nan, and Tyler took the Joey Harris quiz, and it was very close. And they do not know me as well as I thought that they would know me. There is all of that, and I'm telling TJ at the same time I'm telling you all, folks, coming in November is Thanksgiving. The Joey Harris Show does the Christmas Eve show every year. But for the Patreon, we are doing what we are calling the Thanksgiving Spectacular, TJ. And you're going to be a part of it because I'm going to find the time for all of us to record together. And it's going to be a gigantic show. And TJ, you've got to metaphorically bring to the table what you would bring for a Talladega Nights Thanksgiving. 2 dishes. So you have to look up, if you don't know what a Talladega Nights Thanksgiving is, folks.
No, sir.
So we're all going to have a Talladega Nights Thanksgiving that's coming in November for that. But in addition to that, TJ, Nan and I did the book club baristas, and where we talked about Salem's Lot, TJ, and it was very spooky. And Nan and I discussed getting away from it all. You want to retire into this nice little Maine, New England town and all of that. Everything is going great. And doggone it, if a vampire isn't going to show up and just ruin everything, like they do. So all of that, plus so much more, almost 70 pieces of content on there.
Ooh.
And folks, just try us out for 1 month. That's $5. You can get maybe one drink from Starbucks for that, but maybe even not. But all of that, try us out, download everything. If you don't like it, you can cancel after that. No harm, no foul from me, but I think you'll enjoy it and you'll come back every month. I make it easy for you at the Joey Harris. If it's a social media and I'm on it, I am at the Joey Harris. So we'll leave you with this. So for TJ, this is Joey leaving you with the words from Orson Welles. This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen, out of character to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. The Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. Starting now, we couldn't soap all your windows and steal all your garden gates by tomorrow night. So we did the best next thing. We annihilated the whole world before your very ears and utterly destroyed the CBS. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it and that both institutions are still open for business. So goodbye, everybody, and remember the terrible lesson you learned tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch. And if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween. Good night, everyone. Bless you all, and we will talk to you all next time.
Peace.